Good day, YouTubers. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls from all around the world. Last week we were searching for parts that weren't in the kit. One of my viewers made a statement that the parts that were missing is more than just one set of them. Supposedly it's two sets. So we made it ourselves from scratch, and there it is on the ship. We'll use this one for the second bell, wherever it's at. I haven't seen it yet in the instructions, but we got a little rope here to ring the bell. We got the stanchions glued up with the pieces of brass on them and painted black, and then scraped the black off the face. And then we made this top piece out of a chunk of walnut. It's not exactly like the instructions one that was made out of pewter, but it's really close. And we put a little gold detail on it and painted the bell gold and drilled a hole in this top piece so the bell could go up in there on this stem and glue in. And then we drilled another hole in the opening of the bell, and I used some thread that I had coated with some super glue and bent one end over so it's a little fatter where it jams in the hole we drilled in there, and then glued it up. So we improvised and manufactured our own missing parts. I do want to do a little gold detail on the back here on the top. I got a little micro brush. Part of my brush pile. In order to do that, I need a little gold pen or something, don't I? So that was the dilemma we ran into, was missing parts, so we just made the missing parts. I want to store this somewhere where I'm not going to lose it when we go to get to that point where we need it. So in the meantime, we've made it past this step. Now we're going to fire up the laptop and see what's next. Okay, so we got the bell, and we went on to the next step, which was putting a piece of trim behind it on this ledge there. We got that done, and that trim is shaped using the shaping tool, like inside corner round. shape there. And then we did this railing. Painted the inside of the pockets black. It's got a raised edge, so it's easy to scrape the paint off the outside edge after you form it, because the piece is flat when it comes out of the laser cut brass, and we had to bend that little square on the end. And then we cut a bunch of posts and set them in there and glued them to the railing. And then we glued the railing on to the deck, each side of the bell, giving space for a stairway on the ends. So the next thing I'm working on now is this. I think this is going to be another railing. It uses the second one of them C32s that I don't have. I'm going to have to make from scratch. And another bell. Well, we made the bell, didn't we? So, cutting some more posts. This time when I cut my posts, I'm going to make them a little longer so this detail on the top shows above the railing a little better. And then that glues on behind the mast. So I've got the assembly started on that piece. Not here. We got to paint this brass black and then scrape off the top, or the top. The raised edges we'll scrape off and just show the details that are there, and the black will be in the lower part of the brass. So it looks like we got to find two more of those, or one long one. Yeah, it's probably right there. There's two different lengths. And then there's this one here that doesn't have the box on it. Yeah, there's no box on the end like the other one, so we just gotta make all the posts. So here's the railing for the first bell we did. Got that on the ship and glued up and painted. And now we're going to have another one back here that we're working on next. And another bell. So we got the bell made. We just got to duplicate this piece here for the top. I did get a hold of Artesia Latina, and they're probably going to send me those pieces. But that would hold me up if I was waiting on them. So worst case scenario, I can build it myself from scratch. I had a piece of walnut here. What did I do with it? Them ducks out there playing in the pool. I just cleaned their water. So wherever that piece of walnut is, oh, I stuck it back up here, yeah. So this is thick enough and tall enough that I can create that shape, cut out the arc shape underneath it, drill holes in it and stuff like that for the bell. So that's what we'll work on next. For my posts, I'm just cutting them here using I cut one to the exact length I need, and then I take it and I put it next to the other one, similar to this. And then while I'm holding it with the tweezers, the pliers, I'll go in there and cut the next one, and then use this one as a template and keep cutting until I get all the ones I need. And then I'm taking it, cleaning up the ends after the cut, and I'm putting it in the drill press just like we did for the bell. And I'm using the file to create that shape on the end of the post. While the drill press is turning, we got to create that shape on there. So we round the head off, and then we cut into it a little bit. So I want to make these a little bit longer so they stick up above the railing better, and they show that profile a little better than this first set that I did. So we got to be a little bit longer, maybe a millimeter or two longer, to get the right effect on that little detail on the top of the post. And a lot of tedious painting and gluing. This is 4 different boards glued onto that railing, and then the 2 different pieces of brass glued onto the boards. I've been using whenever I contact wood to metal, I'm using this gel super glue. And then of course wood to wood, I'm using the regular wood glue. And we're painting black, scraping it off after it dries, and then we got gold for touch up to match the brass or highlight areas that we want to highlight with the gold. So it's coming out pretty good. We have made it past several steps this week. So that's what we want to create with that new piece that's laying on the bench now. And a bunch of posts. I got to see about these things here, because the other post didn't have paint. It might be just the post with paint on it. But that looks like it's been scraped on the edge. Can't imagine they painted gold on the edge. We'll have to look at that real close and see what's going on here. But it definitely looks like maybe that's the background. Yeah, that's the background of the laser cut piece that'll be behind the post. So we got to paint the center part of that straight section with the black, and then scrape off the over paint that we mess up on to get us that effect. That's going to be a little tedious. And then another piece of trim to go on the edge that we got to shape, which I haven't done yet. And then, oh boy, we get to do more, looks like more rubbing stakes. Sure enough, them dirty rats, they distract us for a while, and then they put us back on rubbing stakes and planking. It's like they know it's hard to stay at it, so they give you something different to do. But yeah, after we do them other railings, we got to fight this. Ooh, and then we're almost ready to cut out some cannon holes. There's a template for that. We got to cut out all the holes in the template, and then get the template on the ship and mark it up. Oh boy. Yeah, let's just concentrate on what we need to right now, not get too far ahead of ourselves. We got to make up this railing, try to get it to look as good as that one. That one came out pretty good. I thought I did it backwards at first, but after I got it up there, it looked like the plans on the computer screen. So let's make some parts. Well, we got all the pieces glued up, and the railing is installed with the bell that we made in stop motion. I still got to make a piece of trim, put on this edge here, but to get all that detail took hours. You can see I did make these stanchions a little taller so that the feature on the top shows a little better. So compared to that first one we did, I think we did pretty good. So I'm happy with that. We got that done. Got her glued on. Does that picture look like what we've got done? Yep. Now I did paint my railing black to match the other side on the face. And that has a little transition between the gold and the black of the decoration brass piece. I think it looks a little better. So next week after we put that piece of trim on there, we'll put some more rubbing stakes on. Lovely. Almost all the way down to the keel line. Definitely about 8 or 10 more boards. Get down that far. Yep, that's going to be fun. The back end's pretty easy, but the front end's a lot of shaping. But it's easier than planking, I guess. Thanks for watching.